Hello, friends. It's Dr. John WorldPeace coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's about 7 in the morning, Mountain Time, uh, October the 18th. I'm going to repeat to you, my metric in life is not money. I've had some very strong careers in accounting, insurance, tax, law, web design, and I'm a global advocate, the global advocate for peace and advocate for Jesus Christ. But I'm not a corporate Christian. I'm a spiritual Christian, following the words of Jesus. Peace. They will beat their swords into plowshares. That's my metric. Not making a zillion trillion dollars. Everything that comes in here by contributions is spent on peace, not me buying a bigger house or a car or whatever else. Okay, title of the day's commentary, or this commentary, there'll be more today. The Palestinians today, and they look down the road to tomorrow that leads to the future of the Palestinian children. Friends, has anyone seen old man Biden have a meeting with American Palestinian families who are worried about their friends and family in Gaza? No, I haven't seen it. Plenty of meetings between Biden and the families of Jews who were killed by Hamas, but no meetings with American families who the Zionists have killed. 2,800, I believe it is now, and with the hospital last night, it's over 3,000 something. These are murderous people, these Jews, right along with their compatriots, the Muslim terrorists and the Jewish terrorists, and throughout history, the Christian terrorists. Hell is coming, and not only within the world human society, the global warming that the global human society is bringing on. But this is not the end times with the revelation. Everything that's going on right now is man-made. It is greed, country against country, racial hatred, gender hatred, religious hatred. The key issue with Israel is to become a theocracy just like Iran, because God is on their side and they are the chosen people. Nonsense. God kicked them out of Israel in 72 A.D., gave the land to the Muslims in the 6th century, and let the Nazis kill 6 million of them. Does that look like the chosen people of God to you? Or does that look like a parent trying to discipline children with a hard stick? No meetings between Biden and the Palestinian families, only the Jewish family. Well, hey, old Joe, you are the president of a melting pot of the entire world human population. The entire world human population. And you owe just as much respect and concern with Palestinians that are now in America as you do with the Jews and the Hispanics and the Muslims and so on and so forth. You are a president of all the people, because all the people, all the nations, all the religions, all the genders are in a melting pot in America. So whatever goes on in the world that is war between this group or that, you got both groups here in America. And you need to pay attention to that, Joe. Now we have DeSantis and Trump wanting to bar Gazans entering the USA. What worthless people. Even to be with their extended family. They want DeSantis and Trump want to keep out the Gazans. Well, I say as far as immigration goes right now, we need to shut the whole thing down and force the Republicans and the Democrats to hammer out a damn solution. When the bodies of Americans related to Gazans start arriving here in the USA, will Biden meet with these friends and families? Will he show them paperwork that those dead were found to be part of those who attacked the Zionists? You know, friends, half the residents of Gaza are children under 18. That means about 1 million children now, as the Zionists kill these innocent Palestinians from bullets or starvation or lack of clean drinking water or medical help, which these children witness. What do you think they're going to think about Zionists anywhere they may encounter them in the world of human society? These kids are in these videos. They're holding on to dead parents. They're looking at the chaos. They're hungry. They're bloody. They're bruised. You think they're going to be favorable toward the Israelis when they grow up? I don't think so. My opinion is that the Zionists are filling the ranks of Hamas and Hezbollah, the future ranks, with these children. How many random killings of Jews around the world will be related to the actions of Netanyahu and his stormtroopers? The Zionists will never be able to kill all the Hamas freedom fighters. That's right, freedom fighters. Freedom from Israel's domination, not terrorists. I do believe that the more Gazans the Zionists kill, the more mysterious unsolved crimes against the Jews will happen in retaliation. There are plenty of radical races that are attacking synagogues all over the world now. This Jew hatred goes back a long, long way. But let's ask the ultimate question. Why is there a long history of hatred for the Jews? Everywhere. We all know about the Nazis, but living in the South in America, I know the older white males of my youth hated the Jews, right along with the blacks. There just weren't as many Jews around. Now, some of that was the fact that the Zionists crucified Jesus, and the preachers hammered that when I was a kid. But sometime in the 60s, the Pope forgave the Jews for crucifying Jesus. It's crazy. But that did not change the overall Southern attitude about Jews. I wrote a book in poetry in a poetic form about 3 years ago and submitted it to the Pulitzer Prize called Raw White Racism, about my 73 years experience with Jews all my life and blacks, growing up in the Army in the early 70s. I was a sergeant and saw what attitudes and actions there were against blacks by the drill sergeants and the upper cadre of the military. So just saying that the Zionists are making Jew haters of the children who are witnessing atrocities of the Zionists in Gaza. No one can deny this. Give me a break. A 10-year-old kid seeing his mother bleeding to death, dying from a Zionist bomb. No different from Israelis seeing the same thing from these radical Muslims. American Jews are more tolerant than the Zionists, which are the right-wing fascists of the Jews. And there is pushback against Netanyahu by these liberal Jews. But they're not in the majority yet. Netanyahu was raised in a racist family, and certainly that is the basis of his anti-Semitic hatred for the Semitic Palestinians. You see, so many of you people are so screwed up in your head. When the Jews start hollering about anti-Semitism, the Palestinians are Semitic people. The Jews hate Palestinians as much as any hatred on the planet. The greatest, most hateful anti-Semitics are the Jews in relationship to the Palestinians and the Muslims. When Jews say anti-Semitism, what they mean is anti-Zionism. But to say anti-Semitism puts them in the loop because of their hatred for the Palestinians. Abraham had two sons, Isaac, the patron of the Jews, and Ishmael, the patron of the Muslims. And Ishmael was the firstborn. These Palestinians and these Israels are brothers and sisters. And I'm going to point you back to the Old Testament where God, after Cain killed Abel, and God saw Cain, he said, "Hey, where's Abel?" And Cain said, "How do I know? Am I my brother's keeper?" Well, God's going to be asking that same question to the Jews, to the Zionists. Where are the Palestinians? And they're going to say, "We're not our brother's keepers. We're their killers, and they're our killers." In the meantime, it is the president of the most powerful nation in the world going to see Netanyahu, the leader of a postage stamp nation. As president of the USA, Netanyahu should be coming here. One last question I'm wondering about. Is Netanyahu's son on the front lines in the Holocaust against the Palestinians? Or deep in the rear with the gear and his mummy? Where is Sonny Boy? Yeah, well, Netanyahu sitting at the top of the Israeli Zionist pyramid is going to take advantage of his power to keep his Sonny Boy out of the blood and guts against the Israelis, against the Palestinians. Friends, there's no future to war. It's outdated. And all that Netanyahu is doing is stirring up trouble. We are not in the 20th century. You can't go out and kill people and beat them into submission or kill them into submission. It's not the way the world works now. And these millennials that were born in 96 and after, more or less, they're not going to put up with this. This religious hatred, this hatred for women, this hatred for blacks, they're not going to put up with that. These world wars, they're not going to put up with that. They're going to see brothers and sisters of the millennium, third millennium, across borders. This old school, old Biden, old Netanyahu thinking is dead. And I'm the only one pointing that out. I'm the only global advocate for peace and world peace. Gandhi was worried about India. Martin Luther King about the southern USA. Mandela about South Africa. They were not global advocates of peace. I'm the only one ever. Certainly the only one now. I get your hate mail. Just a low mentality for you to attack me. Somebody is trying to keep your kids from being murdered or traumatized or brainwashed by Trump and his buddies. Thank God they're not going to put that Jim Jordan crazy man at the head of the House. My God, that would put Trump ahead of the House. John WorldPeace, only global advocate for world peace, and the independent maverick write-in candidate for president of the USA 2024. That's right, I'm going to give Mr. Biden a run for his money. I'll take as many votes away from him as I can. I need to be at the top of the pyramid, not him. He's brain dead, he's old, and he's going to sit down at the knee of Netanyahu. All Biden has to do is tell Netanyahu, hey buddy, stop the killing. Get out of Gaza before you start a world war. Get out now. We're not going to let you kill all of those people. The USA is the only nation in the world where all nationalities, all races, all religions, all genders have dedicated themselves to the propagation of a more sane and just world human society. The real God-chosen nation of God is America, not Zion. Contribute at World Peace Teaching Peace. Haven't received any contributions so far. Nobody wants to pay for peace. Nobody wants to advertise peace. Nobody wants to broadcast that message. But times are going to change. There's a certain level of blood that people will change their mind about peace. I live a minimalist life. 95% of the contributions go to advertise peace. It's not money for me to have stuff. I've gotten rid of all my stuff. I'm 75. None of that stuff gave me peace. It provided my kids and the ex-wives, but it didn't mean nothing to me. Because you know what? When you die, you don't take nothing with you. You don't even take your body with you. You wake up in this spiritual place, and everything you owned means nothing. Every spiritual teacher tells you the same thing. Don't get attached to anything in this world dreamscape, because it's all an delusion. God doesn't care what you have in assets. He's the one who gave it to you. Don't try to impress him with that nonsense when you're dead. Peace. Have a good day.